Good morning, everyone. It's Andrea. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well because I am excited. I am excited to be here. I'm excited to be alive. And I cannot wait to tell you why. See, 5 years ago today, I was discharged from the hospital. It was an unexpected hospitalization. I've had previous conditions of rheumatoid arthritis, osteoperinia, fibromyalgia, exercise-induced asthma, and also had some surgeries of the removal from the appendix and gallbladder with 7 ulcers on them. But what I realized is how significant stress can be if you don't take care of it. See, I was on the way to work and I experienced some difficulty breathing. And as I was trying to struggle and reach for my inhaler, the breathing got more weakened. And immediately I was rushed to the emergency room. They did some tests. They didn't find anything. They sent me home. A few hours later, they had called me. Actually, it was the next morning, and they said, "You have to come back right away." I was confused because my symptoms have subsided, but not to 100%. Went back to the hospital, went via the ER, and they had found that they had diagnosed me with myasthenia gravis. Now, I wasn't familiar what that was at that time, but my immune system kicked in, my nervous system kicked in, and all of a sudden I had trouble breathing and lost all sense of my limbs. And all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. I wasn't sure where I was. I couldn't move my arms and I was kind of confused. Next thing you know, I awake and I'm in the ICU unit. Now, they were running a series of tests to try to figure out what was going on because they were assured that this was something that had to be of great significance. So after being in the hospital for a few days, I was unable to see my family, let alone our son. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was a few days in and they were still running tests. I could not hold anything down. I could barely use my arms or my legs, let alone walk. OT and PT would come in. You fast forward, and I had spoken to my husband one evening. He's like, "Babe, you have to come home. Your son misses you. I miss you. You have to come home." And he remembered and he recalled to me about watching The Secret. And I was kind of confused. He said, "Remember the part about how you can control your mind and your healing process." So that struck a chord with me. So that evening I went to sleep. I said, "I love you both very much. I am going to get released. I promise you." That night I envisioned with my heart of hearts walking out of the hospital, embracing my son, embracing my husband, and able to see my family and friends again. That morning, I woke up, and it was time for justification to see how I was doing with my progress. Mind you, I could barely move. I was incapacitated, unable to utilize any of my limbs. The doctors came in, and they said, "We are going to do our daily tests." And it was at that moment when my feet were draped over the hospital bed, and I jumped down. Mind you, I am petite. I jumped down and I said in my mind, "I am going home." It was a miracle. I was able to walk from my hospital bed to the nurse's station and back. The results came back for the multiple series of tests, still nothing. And it was that moment that the doctor was in shock and stated because there was no evidence of any positive tests that I was able to be released. I remember getting released and excited. I hadn't told my family. My father and my best friend were on the way to meet me. And I remember being so excited, sitting up for the first time, feeling liberated and just so alive and able to breathe with no machines. Mind you, I was on the ICU unit for a week. And I remember getting dressed and bathed and showered. And my father picked me up. And it was just at 1 o'clock. And they were finishing school early that day. And I had been in the back seat of the car when my father was to pick our son up. And we had notified the school that I was discharged. And so his teacher walked him out. And I still remember, my father opens the door, he gets in the car, and I said, "Hey, mijo." He turns back and his eyes light up. He says, "Mommy, it's like Christmas. You're okay. You're home. I prayed for this moment. I am so happy you're here. Thank you so much." And I remember his little hand grabbing onto mine and not letting go. I am here to tell you today, you are not alone. If you are going through something, medical, emotional, in the mind, or feeling alone, all you have to do is have faith and believe. I did. And I am so grateful to be alive today, knowing that my mindset, my awareness that I was going to achieve this and I was going to go home and be with my family, that this was not the path that I wanted to lead. I was not going out like this. I was determined, and since then, I am happy to announce that I have been medically cleared of all pre-existing conditions. I am in the best health that I can be. I am in shape. I am eating well and healthy, exercising, and living my dream. I believe in you. You have the power, more than you can ever imagine, to change your channel. I was so stressed of the loss of my mother a few years prior, struggling with not fitting in, struggling with, honestly, life in itself. And I was able to overcome those obstacles and said, enough is enough, because I am enough. I am in control. My mind controls everything. And once my heart and my mind combined, I am able to achieve whatever I set my mind to. I want you to know that it is possible. I want you to look deep down inside and find your why. Because my why came to me through the phone that evening from my husband and our son's message to him that they needed me home. I needed to take care of me. So many times we're so quick to take care of others, our friends, our colleagues, even strangers, before we do ourselves. But let me tell you, your health is your number one asset. And if you don't take care of your health, you are not able to be here to help others. It is serious. Stress is serious. Life is unexpected. But if you are able to tap into your mind and make a declaration that you are going to do what you need to do and want to do, your heart will meet it and give you passion and the empowerment to achieve it. I know you're out there. If you are lost, abandoned, fearful, not well, have a condition that you think you cannot achieve, I ask you to write this down. I am able. I am enough. I am in control of everything that I do. And I am grateful to be here and alive today. On this wonderful celebration, my reason, my why, my purpose for never giving up was my message 6 years ago today, when life and God stepped in and said, no more. Until you take care of yourself, I'm just going to carry you. I was on the ICU unit. Imagine that. Being in a hospital, hearing the cries of the elderly, the sadness of the ill. My mind put me there. My mind of neglect, abuse from my childhood. But having parents who loved me unconditionally and still do, and having a loving husband and a loving son to remind me that I am special and I am here. So, I know my purpose. I understand the calling that I have been requested to answer. And I am here for you to help you find your why, be appreciative, and be grateful for every single day in your life. Take care of you. Take care of your health, because the world needs you now. Thank you for watching. I love you all over the world, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Be well.